third rule tells you that with the help of to, by adding and by removing, you can say some sentences can be interchanged into negative sentences. You know, with the help of to. Removal to, you can say. There is a chapter in English grammar that is known as removal to. So if I write here a sentence, Ram is too weak to walk, right? So students, you can see here, you know, this 2 is having double O, right? And another 2 is having single O. Now, how you have to change such sentences into negative sentences? Let's understand. This 2 will be changed into so, S-O, right? I hope you are just able to see. And this one will change into that, right, students? This TWO will be changed into so, S-O, and another TO2 will change into that, right? And then after you have to use plus a formula. इसके बाद आपको एक formula add करना है, right? What will be that formula? Subject. Subject means what? This one, this one. And remember, if the subject is a noun, then you will have to add here as the pronoun. The pronoun of that particular subject you have to add, right? So instead of Ram, what we have to write here? He. If there is tree, you have to write what? It. Remember that. So subject and then plus what? Cannot. Cannot with present. And I am just adding slash and then I am writing what? Could not. So could not with past we have to add, right? If the sentence is into present tense, you have to write what? Cannot. In case of past tense, you have to add what? Could not, right? And then what you have to add? First form of the verb. So this is the formula for interchanging, sentences with the help of removal to. So now let's interchange it. I'm just going to write here and I hope you are able to see it. So Ram will remain the same. Is I have done the same. This 2 will be changed into so. So I am writing here so. Ram is so. And then week will remain the same. Week. And then this 2 will be changed into that. So here I am writing that. And then what you have to plus? Subject. One formula you have to add. So subject will become what? He instead of Ram. As I have already told you that you have to put pronoun at the place of the subject. So Ram will become what? He. And now let's consider on the sentence. The sentence is having the verb is. Is, this means what? Is, am, are, this means what? That is in present tense. So what you have to use here? Cannot. So here we will be using cannot. So he cannot. And then first form of the verb, that is what? Walk. Now your sentence has been interchanged like Ram is so weak that he cannot walk. I hope you have got it. Clear, students? Let's take one more example of remove to. So here I am just going to write that she was too slow to win the race, right? So here it will be changed. She was so, this 2 into so, slow, and this 2 into that, right? And then subject, one formula you have to apply. Subject already pronoun, so she you have to write. And then your question is into past tense, so it will become what? Could not. Could not, right? And then V1 means what? Win, and then the race, right? So your sentence has been interchanged here like she was so slow that she could not win the race. I hope you have got it, right, students? Now let's move to the next rule. So students, now let's get the next rule, that is rule number 4, I think. So rule number 4 tells us that in case of only alone, it will be changed into none but, and in case of as soon as, it will be changed into no sooner than. Like I am just writing here, if there is only and alone, right, it will be changed into none but, right? But in case of, as soon as, it will be changed into no sooner, and then dot dot, and then what? Than, right? So let's take some examples for understanding how to change sentences beginning with only, alone, and as soon as, right? Yes. So here if I am writing that only a fool would behave like this, right? I have done one sentence, only a fool would behave like this. So it will be changed into, at the place of only, what we have to write? None but. None but a fool would behave like this. Like this. Right, students? I hope you have got. Okay. Let's take another example. If I say, as soon as he saw a tiger, right? And then after you will get a comma, right? He climbed up a tree. Let's read out your question once again. As soon as he saw a tiger, he climbed up a tree. So this saw is what? Second form of the verb. This saw is what? Second form of the verb. And here again you can see second form of the verb. But remember, only in the first sentence the second form you have to change, and the second part of the sentence, second sentence, will remain the same. Right? What I want to make you understand, that in the first sentence there is second form of the verb that you have to change. But in the second sentence, once again you will get the second form that you do not have to change. It will be written the very same as it is, right? Let's change it. So as soon as will be changed with the help of no sooner than, right? Let's change it. So I write here no sooner, right? No sooner, and then dot dot. This means what? This one is past, you can say. So is what? Past. So for past, when we change it into negative, we add what? Did not. So no, I have already done here. So only need to write what? Did. So let's write did. No sooner did. And then he will remain same, he. And so this is second form of the verb. This will be changed into first form. It will become what? See. Right? As I have done here did, and there is no. So did not. The sense is did not. So no sooner did he see. Right? And then a tiger. A tiger. Now let me tell you one more thing. You can see here there is a comma I have added. So at the place of comma you have to write what? Than. At the place of comma, what you have to write? Than you have to write. Are you understanding or not? So here what we will write here? Than. So now your sentence is no sooner did he see a tiger. At the place of comma I have done than, and then the last sentence you have to write the same. So I am writing here he climbed up a tree. There is no change in the second sentence, right? The very same as it is. Clear, students? I hope you have got it. So let's take some examples of degree of comparison. So I think this one is the fifth rule, that is degree of comparison, right? So in degree of comparison, we are having some sentences like Ram is as wise as his brother, right? This is the sentence. Now in such sentences what you have to do, you have to put the last noun or pronoun at first. what? Last noun and pronoun you have to put first. So let's write here his brother. His brother. And then in case of affirmative sentence, add a negative word, right? And in case of negative word or negative word in this sentence, you have to remove that particular negative word. So this is, the question is affirmative, so we have to add here one negative word. So I am writing here is not. His brother, then is not, right? And then what you have to do, I have done not here, I have added not here, and then what you have to do, you will get the positive degree. This is PD. P stands for positive, D stands for degree. So positive degree you will get inside as. So inside as you can see here there is a positive degree. So this positive degree you have to change into comparative degree, and you have to remove as. So I am just removing as, and wise will become what? Comparative wiser, right? And after comparative degree there is a rule that you have to use what? Than. So wiser, and then what? Than. And then the first noun you have to write here the same, very same you have to write. So here I am writing what? Ram. So students, now your sentence has been interchanged. His brother is not wiser than Ram, right? Now let's take one more example. He is not duller than Ram. Now you can see here this one is CD. So your question is into CD, means comparative degree. So if your question is into comparative degree, change it into positive degree, right? So the very same thing you have to do, put the last noun or pronoun at first. I am writing Ram, then is, and as I had told that in case of negative sentence you have to remove not. So here I am just removing not, right? And then duller is comparative, so we have to change it into positive. So it will become dull as. Dull will be where? Inside as. So it will be into as, dull as. Inside as there is always positive degree, remember. So Ram is as dull as. Duller has been changed into positive degree, right? And then what you have to do, the first you have to write at last, he. And remember, if there is he that you have to write at last, write the very same he, do not change it into object him. Then your sentence will become wrong. Then your interchange of sentence will become wrong, remember. So in case of he, you have to write he. Ram is as dull as he. Clear? Okay. So these are some sentences, positive into comparative and comparative into positive you have done. Now students, we are having two types of superlative degrees. Two types of superlative degrees we are having, and that will be some long sentences, little bit long sentences you can say. For that I am just going to erase this, and then we will be understanding both kinds of the superlative degrees. Okay. So students, now let's see two types of superlative degrees you can say, right? The first one is Ram is the tallest boy of my class. So this is the simple superlative degree, D plus SD. SD stands for superlative degree, right? Another example I am just going to take, that is Ram is one of the. Remember, I have done here what? Or one of the. This means from many there is one. From many there is one. So Ram is one of the, and then what? Tallest. And then what? Boy will become what? Boys. Remember, here most of the students as well as the teachers also make mistakes. So remember this. What? In the case of one of the superlative degrees, in case of one of the, and then what? Superlative degree, right? And then what you have to write? Plural noun, P.N. This means plural noun. And in case of simple superlative, the plus superlative, you have to write what? S dot n, this means singular noun. Always remember. With one of the plural noun, and with simple superlative like the wisest, the most intelligent, add after that singular noun. But always remember, in case of one of the most intelligent boys, girls, one of the richest countries, one of the greatest men, not man, remember. So after one of the, what you have to do? Plural noun. Always remember this, right? So of my class. Now let's change it, right? Yeah, so simple superlative, how do you have to change? Let's see. Ram is, tall will become what? Taller than, and then what? Any other, right? And then boy. Boy is what? Singular noun, right? Of my class. So now your sentence is, Ram is taller than any other boy of my class. So this is what? This is CD, means you have changed it into comparative degree, right? So from superlative degree, you have changed this sentence into comparative degree, right? So now let's change it into positive degree, So how you have to change it into positive degree? With the help of no other. How? With the help of no other. So here, with the help of no other, we have to change it into positive degree. So it will be changed, no other, boy of my class is, and then taller will be inside as, only then it will be positive degree. So as, and then what? Simple form of the adjective, tall as tall as, Ram, right? So now your sentence is, no other boy of my class is as tall as Ram. This has been changed into positive degree. Now let's change this one, this kind, into comparative and positive, right? So when you change it into comparative, it will be changed like, Ram is taller than, and then what you have to write? Most other. And after most other, what you have to write? Plural noun. So here you have to write boys. Ram is taller than most other boys, and then what you have to write? Of my class. Now just of my class. Now just change it into positive degree. So while changing it into positive degree, it will be changed with the help of very few, boys, plural noun. Very few boys of my class, are. Why are? Because here is plural noun. So very few boys of my class are, and then what? As tall as Ram. So this sentence has been changed into positive degree. So both the superlative degrees have different ways for changing, comparative and positive. This one is also comparative and positive. So there are different ways. Just keep these rules in your mind, and this way only you have to change it. Only then you will get good marks in your exams, right? Thanks, students.
Hello students, now let's learn how to interchange some interrogative sentences into assertive sentences. So students, rule number 1 tells you that with the help of subject and verb order, you can change some interrogative sentences into assertive sentences. Here I have done something, that negative word if there is in this sentence, just remove it. In case of no any negative word in this sentence, just add one, right? So let's understand it with the help of some examples. Shall I ever forget you? I shall never forget you. Subject and verb order I have done here, right? Did he not abuse me? He abused me. One more thing you can consider here. The first sentence was positive, that's why I added here a negative word, never. In the second sentence there is already not, so I have removed not in while changing it into assertive sentence, right? Do I vex her? I do not vex her. Is he not innocent? He is innocent, right? Now let's learn rule number 2. Rule number 2 tells you that we are having some sentences starting with who. So in case of sentences starting with who, how you have to change. You have to, if there is negative word in this sentence, you have to begin your sentence with everyone. In case of no any negative word in this sentence, you have to begin your sentence with none, right? No one or nobody, one of them you have to use. Now let's understand it with the help of some examples. The first example is who is greater than God. So it is positive sentence, so you have to begin with no one, none, nobody, one of them you have to use. So no one is greater than God. You can also say none is greater than God. You can also say nobody is greater than God, right? Now the next example is who does not want to be rich. Here does not negative word. So in case of negative word, you have to use everyone, right? So see, I have started the sentence with everyone. Everyone wants to be rich, and remember, in case of everyone, it becomes third person subject in singular number. So in that case, do not forget to add s and es with the verb, right? Who cares for the poor? Nobody cares for the poor. Who is without problems? No one is without problems, right? Now some different way of changing of some different interrogative sentences, that you will have to keep in your mind, right? Why waste time here? It is no use wasting time here. It is useless to waste time here. So this sentence has been interchanged with the help of these two examples, right? So example number second, why cry over spilt milk? Why eat so much? These both sentences can also be interchanged with the help of these two examples, right? Now the next one is, how can I repay your kindness? I can never repay your kindness. What more can I do? I can do nothing more, right? When will you have sense? You will never have sense. So these were some sentences, that you learned how to interchange it into assertive sentences, right? Now let's learn how to change some exclamatory sentences into assertive sentences. Rule number 1 tells you that sentence with what and how, right, begin with subject and verb order, right? If there is what and how in the sentence, and you know after it adjective or adverb, this means what, how, and then adjective or adverb, then you have to interchange it with the help of very, remember. But if there is noun after what and how, if there is no adjective and adverb, if there is noun, then what you have to use? While transforming, interchanging the sentences, you have to use great, fine, lovely, wonderful, strange, peculiar, terrible. One of them as per the sense you have to use, right? Now let's understand it with the help of some examples. The first one is what a fall it is. It is a great or big fall. Fall has been used here as the noun. The next one is what a fool you are. You are a great or big fool, right? What a fun. It is a great fun. How cold it is. Now here cold, you can see it is an adjective, so I have used here very, right? So it is very cold. What a lovely rose. Lovely is an adverb, so here too I have used very, right? This is a very lovely rose. What a beautiful sight it is. Beautiful is also an adjective, so here I have done it is a very beautiful sight. How sweetly she sings. Sweetly is also an adverb, so here in this sentence too I have used very while interchanging. She sings very sweetly, right? Now let's see the second rule. Second rule tells you that if an exclamatory sentence begins with would that, oh for, if I could only, oh if I could only, then the sentences are transformed with the help of I wish and I earnestly desire, right? Like, oh that I had the wings of a bird. I wish I had the wings of a bird. Oh, that I were young again. I wish I were young again. Right? So these are some more sentences. You can transform these sentences also with the help of I wish or I earnestly desire. right? Now let's move to the rule number third one. Rule number third one tells you that some exclamatory sentences begin with infinitive 2 plus v1, right? Such sentences are changed like this. See, to think of her living here, her will change into she. It is strange that she should live here. To think of our meeting here. It is strange that R has changed into we, right? It is strange that we should meet here. Now rule number 4. Some sentences are changed with the help of it is plus adjective, strange, astonishing, shocking, mean, plus that clause containing should, right? Let's see. A soldier and afraid of fighting. It is astonishing, it is shocking that a soldier should be afraid of fighting, right? If I say a teacher and afraid of teaching, you can say it is astonishing and it is shocking that a teacher should be afraid of teaching, right? A fisherman and afraid of water. It is strange that a fisherman should be afraid of water, right? Go through all the examples, you will be able to learn it, right? Now let's consider on the rule number 5. How plus adjective plus of, right? How kind of you to help me, you, right? You were kind enough to help me, correct? How clever of him, him will change into he, right? Him will change into he. So he was clever enough to cheat her. Now rule number 6, beginning with alas. Use it is extremely sad or it is sad to think, right? Alas, he is ruined. It is sad that he is ruined. Alas, my friend is no more. It is extremely sad that my friend is no more. Alas, that youth should pass away. It is sad to think that youth should pass away. Now let's consider on the last rule, that is rule number 7, right? So rule number 7 tells you, in case of bravo, hooray, fi, you have to change the sentences like this. Okay? Fi, you have cheated your friend. It is a matter of contempt, shame that you have cheated your friend. Bravo, you have done well. It is a matter of praise that you have done well. Hooray, we have defeated the enemies. It is a matter of great joy that we have defeated the enemies. Right? Fi, you are a liar. It is a matter of contempt. Shame, you can also write that you are a liar. So students, here you are able to see many examples for interchanging interrogative sentences into assertive sentences and exclamatory sentences into assertive sentences also. So just go through all these sentences and rules and you will be able to interchange and transform all types of sentences into another sentences, right? Thanks students.